And here we are. First night race of the season. Race at the beginning. Race 3, your starting lineup. Go through guys in the out of a slump. Post all 3 of these races at the same time. But it's a triple header. I've actually recorded them all on the same day. And there's your field. Starting last, hoping to make a charge to the front is the 3 car. Your points leader after 2 races, it is 24 William Byron or Wild versus Slim Shady. He runs a diecast league on Discord, and I am a part of it, so he is your points leader. And then tied for second are the 2. And then tied for second are these 2 are tied for second. And we have a good rematch coming up in store for you, so you better stick around and watch. First up is Ross Chastain, the 42, versus Ty Dillon, the 13. And that will be Ty Dillon in the 13 with the win. Next up is Alex Bowman of the 48 versus James Davison in the 15. And that is Davison. Kurt Busch is next up, who is yet to win a round 1 race, surprisingly, versus Joey Logano. And who got it? I think Logano did by just a hair. Yep, it is Joey Logano. Next up, it is Austin Cindric in the 33 versus Kyle Larson in the 5. And Austin Cindric will move on over Larson, who is still yet to win a round 1 race. Next up, it is the 9 of Chase Elliott versus the 38 of Anthony Alfredo. And Chase Elliott will get the win. Next up is the 37 of Ryan Preece, who got it going last week, versus Daniel Suarez, who got it going the first week. And it is Suarez. I just remembered I had to have it like this. So, next up is Cole Custer versus William Byron. And Byron will keep that dominance going in the championship hunt. Next up is AJ Allmendinger versus JJ Yeley. And it is AJ Allmendinger with the win. Next up is the 6 of Ryan Newman versus 78 of BJ McLeod. And BJ McLeod will get the win. As you can see finally the 77 will not start last. Will that change the result? Yes, it will. Haley will get the win. Harrison Berg, the 95, looking for his first points of the year, going against Chris Buescher in the 17. And Burton will upset Buescher. 2 Toyotas Bubba Wallace in the 23 versus Christopher Bell in the 20. And Bubba will get the win. 2 Toyotas Bubba Wallace in the 23 versus Christopher Bell in the 20. And Bubba will get the win. Next up is Josh Bilicki in the 32, yet to win a round 1 event versus Brad Keselowski. And Bilicki finally gets that win. You already know. The 40 and the 8 get a rematch. The revenge race that everyone will be talking about. 40 of Garrett Smithley and 8 of Tyler Reddick. This decided the first race championship with Reddick winning easily. Will Smithley be able to get revenge? Oh, it's close. I think Reddick got it by just a hair. Yep, Reddick barely nipped him. Here's a matchup that both these guys must win. The 51 of Cody Ware versus the 66 of Timmy Hill. Oh, goodness, they both had to do it. And it is Cody Ware. Look at that, just out in front by a hair over Timmy Hill. Next up, we have the 7 of Cora the Joy. Remember who drove the 7. And then the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse. And the 7 of Cora the Joy with a good margin over the 47. Versus a couple Stuart Haas cars coming up. The 4 of Kevin Harvick versus the 34 of Michael McDowell in a new scheme. Chasers. Oh, yes, it does! Michael McDowell upsets Harvick. One Stuart Haas car was upset. Will this one be? Chase Briscoe in the 14 versus the 18 of Kyle Busch. No, Briscoe will not get upset by Kyle Busch. Busch continues to struggle. Eric Almirola going against a really tough opponent in the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto. The 10 up for the challenge. No, it looks like DiBenedetto will get the win. Finally, you have the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. Not fun, there's another race going. And the 12 of Ryan Blaney back in this advanced auto parts scheme. See what happens. And Truex dominates Blaney. So guys, I'm not even gonna show you. So there's a part of this floor like that. I don't know what it is. It's like dirt of some sort. But when this 12 car hit it, it virtually chipped all the paint off of that front end. Just look at that. Look at that. That's all chipped. It was not even like this. This is a brand new car. Sorry, Ryan Blaney. So next up, we have the 43 of Eric Jones in the BLM car. This is the 3 of Austin Dillon. And Eric Jones will get the win. So these are all the cars victorious in the round 1 matchups. 77 newcomer to this group. So it's the 95 and the 32. They have never won till now. 43 will have a match sometime later, but he will be advancing to round 3. Next up, in the first matchup of round 2, 5 points on the line. Ty Dillon versus James Davison. And Davison will get it. Next up is 2 Penske teammates. 33 of Austin Cindric. 22 of Joey Logano. And it's Joey Logano beating Cindric, and Cindric struggles in round 2. At the 99 of Daniel Suarez versus the 9 of Chase Elliott. Another funny matchup. And it is the 9 of Chase Elliott over Suarez. Next up, we have the 16 of AJ Allmendinger versus the 24 of William Byron. And Byron will continue with dominant points outing with the win here. 77 of Justin Haley versus 78 of BJ McLeod. And it is Haley. Look at that margin. Haley gets the win. Next up is the 23 DoorDash car Bubba Wallace going up against the 95 of Harrison Burton. This is actually Case Gaines' car, but this is Harrison Burton going to be behind the wheel. And Harrison Burton, 95 car beats Bubba. Next up, we have the 8 of Tyler Reddick versus the 32 of Josh Bilicki. And Reddick knocks off Bilicki. Next up is the 51 of Cody Ware, so must-win matchup for him if he wants to stay alive. Run pretty well. The 7 of Corey the Joy. And of the Joy. No, Ware wins. Next up, we have the 14 of Briscoe. The 34 of Michael McDowell. And it is Briscoe barely avoiding the upset. Next up, we have the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. versus the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto. And Truex will knock off the Dibby. Who's gonna face Daniel in this race? Not Daniel, Eric Jones. Ty Dillon somehow will get back in contention and lastly pull off an upset. First matchup of round 3 consists of James Davison versus Joey Logano. And Joey Logano, no question about it, gets the win. Next up, a pair of Hendrick teammates, the 9, who kind of needs some good races. Out against the 24, though, Byron leading the points currently. And Elliott knocks off Byron. This could hurt Byron a lot because Reddick is still in contention right now. Unless he gets knocked off somehow by the 51. Anyways, Haley versus Burton. And it is Harrison Burton on a spree. Knocking off Haley. Who is going to face Harrison Burton? Will it be Tyler Reddick, who currently has a shot at the points lead if he wins this matchup? Or Cody Ware, who is going to come out of nowhere and beat Reddick? See what happens. And it is Cody Ware. How about that, the 51 crew? 14 also wants the points lead of Chase Briscoe versus the 19 of Martin Truex, who somehow has put some good races together. And it is Briscoe gonna beat Truex and possibly take the points lead. Next up is 43 of Eric Jones, who hasn't raced since round 1, versus Ty Dillon. Eric Jones has still got it. Here we go. Two guys in desperate need of a good run here. They're looking like they're gonna get it. 22 of Joey Logano and 9 of Chase Elliott. And it is Elliott gonna beat Logano. Next up, a race of pure underdogs. Harrison Burton, the 95. How about this run? Along with the 51 of Cody Ware. Two guys who are having a great run right now. Let's see what happens. And Harrison Burton's underdog story is gone. Cody Ware advances. It's a good run for Burton, though, nonetheless. But anyways, we have the 14 of Chase Briscoe, who's contending for the points lead. This is Eric Jones, and the 43. And Briscoe will move on past Jones. Harrison Burton's hopes aren't done yet. You can see we have the bucket who will face Chase Briscoe here in the 14. Will it be Harrison Burton? How? Burton will get another shot at it. I randomly picked Burton. I'm not playing favorites. I just randomly picked Burton. Here we go. Start of the semis. Chase Elliott and Cody Ware both having great runs and looking to have an even better run. And it is Elliott beating Cody Ware. Who will face Elliott in the semis? Will it be probably points leader Chase Briscoe, or out of nowhere driver Harrison Burton? And it is not Harrison Burton, it is Chase Briscoe. So these two are your possible drivers to win this next race. Briscoe trying to go for 2 wins in a row. Elliott, his first ever shot in the first race of the championship. for race 3, it is going to be Chase Elliott. 2 chases, another rematch, I just realized. Dying wish for Briscoe right here. The 14 has to win this race, or otherwise Elliott wins it all. And Briscoe will beat Elliott barely. And here it comes, the final race. Here we are. Final race, the 9 versus the 14. And Briscoe makes it 2 in a row. Chase Briscoe pulls it off from behind.